I know Hannah Claire is a big comic book buff.
Oh yeah.
I know all
Everyone
about
knows
them.
that about her. Yeah. And Melonie Mack used to like Captain America, but now she's more more of a fan of America Ferrera or whatever.
Oh, exactly. That's where I'm at now.
But the actor from Captain America was interviewed. I don't know if this was a couple days ago or whatever, but he was asked about, hey, what's it like playing Captain America? Pretty cool honor. Now, obviously, when he opens his mouth, he's going to say something stupid because he's a Hollywood actor. But here, and just to point out, this is not the first time this guy has said something stupid like this. But here's what he had to say about being Captain America.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
It's so in the name.
Just like America. He says it like so. Just like he's like, oh, America.
Why did you take this role if you don't like America?
I know.
Like, you picked the most patriotic superhero to be like, I don't think America should be a part of this. Maybe you should have tried to be Green Lantern or something.
Yeah, or you could have been some, anti-American villain.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Anthony Mackie has said this crap before. Oh, but let me finish it because he makes it worse. He's like,
for me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations.
America.
It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable.
Yeah, American values.
Yeah, exactly. Not America, just the values that America were founded on.
Yeah. Captain America.
Captain traditional masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Captain America was literally created as like the ideal American soldier.
Right.
He was created, he's given the super serum because they wanted to find like the most America guy that they could find to be like a poster boy for the American soldier. And he's like, well, it's like somebody in my comments had like the best. It was like the same energy of like, I don't even like you people. Kind of like that. Oh yeah, look, I don't even like you crackers vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's totally that same vibe.
Like I took the paycheck, just the money and the status that playing Captain America would play.
He's
too good for this part. He's more woke than anyone else.
And when he was in, this is another one of Hannah Claire's favorite movie, but when he was in, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, he was also interviewed about the prospect of playing Captain America, and here's how he replied: "The idea of being Captain America was something that I would never fathom, or because it was so far-fetched," he said. "I wanted to be in a comic book movie so I could be the guy in Spider-Man that goes, 'Hey, it's Spider-Man.' That was as far as my ambition could take me in the universe. The fear of representing a country who doesn't represent you, was something that's not only unfathomable, but hard to overcome." Hero. This guy makes millions of dollars to play pretend.
Yeah.
He can't pretend to get over his own self-centeredness.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, but didn't you know that I'm super oppressed?
It turns out he's not oppressed if you offer him a couple $1 million.
Yeah, he gets over real fast.
Wow. You're taking a role that represents America. Literally, you can pretend and that it doesn't all you want, but it does. But you don't even like America, and you don't feel like America represents you as a person. It's like, wow. That's insane.
Look, Chris Evans is a loser too. He's like a lunatic lib who hates this country too.
That's true.
There's such a I have such a visceral reaction to people like this.
Yeah.
Like we could talk about Selena Gomez too.
Yeah.
Bawling her eyes out yesterday. Her net worth is $1.4 billion with a B. Like, you care about all these people that are getting deported. Why don't you set up a legal fund for them?
Exactly.
Why don't you help provide some of them housing? Why don't you hire some of them to work in your productions? Why don't you give them H-1B visas? Why don't you give them work visas? Why don't you do? No. What I'm going to do is upload a video crying about it. people like Anthony Mackie, who's been given more opportunities than any white man I've ever known, is out here being like, yeah, well, I only make millions of dollars playing a fictional character in movies. America doesn't represent me. It's like, dude, you're living the American dream. Do you know how many young boys and girls grew up and would have dreamed to play the comic book characters that they loved in the movie adaptation? And then they keep hiring these losers that hate the character and hate America. Like, why can't everyone be more like Henry Cavill, who actually respects the characters and wants to, do right by them? Instead, we get all these losers like Rachel Zegler and Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans, who hate this country and take the money that we give them to dump all over it. It's absolutely bonkers and infuriating.
And it's performative. They're doing it so they can be told, wow, you're such a good role model for younger generations. They can see that you're talking about the injustices in our society, et cetera, et cetera. How many young children would benefit if there were more people who were like, yeah, I love this country. We can overcome our problems. We can accomplish things. We can, whatever else he said, like people of our word. Right. Like, it's so negative, and yet he's expecting some sort of congratulatory, like, oh, wow, that was really deep and insightful. I'll pat you on the back for that type of response from his audience. It to me is just, it's kind of gross because it only hurts our society, and it doesn't actually seem authentic in any way.
And, Melonie, I think you should make a video about this, by the way. But we've seen how these fan backlashes have done. It's hurt. It started with Aquaman 2 and Amber Heard.
Yes.
People were like, yo, screw Amber Heard. And that movie tanked.
Yep.
Larson. People, the first Captain Marvel made $1 billion. You can never take that away from it. Yeah, it's true. But it also only made that money because it was marketed as absolute must-view, required reading to watch Endgame, the biggest movie in cinematic history at the time. The second Captain Marvel lost $300 million. Agatha canceled after one season. She-Hulk canceled after one season. This movie reportedly has a massive budget due to reshoots, like $400 or $500 million.
Wow.
There's no way this movie's making $700 million in the box office. I just don't see it. I hope not.
I would be shocked if it did well in the box office. I mean, people are already sick of the woke Marvel stuff that's been going on like crazy. And then especially when you have Captain America, who the actual Captain America is a white dude. And so when you have like this deliberate, okay, we're going to make Falcon Captain America now and do this whole race swap thing that just doesn't feel
Why couldn't he just stay Falcon?
Authentic.
What's wrong with that?
I know. Why couldn't Falcon get his own movie, right? So people are
not
already
progressive enough.
It's just like I don't see this doing well. I think it's going to be a huge flop. They're going to lose even more money. I don't know how they've just been hemorrhaging this amount of money and they still continue on this path. But right now it's just like, hey, a lot of these have been in production whenever woke ideology was
they got to ride it out.
Everyone was talking about, well, now we're seeing all these things flop. We're in Trump America. Eventually the course has to correct itself, at least to some degree.
Do you think that any of this is them wanting to destroy the things you love? Like, they don't care that they're going to lose money on it. They want you to have a negative association with characters that you maybe grew up with or followed.
That's a thing. We see that a ton with comic books. Yeah, you see that with Batman, for example, because a lot of liberals hate Batman because he's rich white dude who's a vigilante, And so
why do you think we don't get Superman movies?
Yeah.
Because he's an idyllic white male. That's why we don't get new Super Bowl movies or Superman movies.
We will have a Super Bowl movie soon.
Yeah, and we will have a new Superman movie finally. But it's an origin story, giving the cuck that is James Gunn the chance to totally ruin him, and he probably will.
I do have some hope for this.
I do. I have some hope.
I have some hope. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
and people are pointing out, and I should agree. Yes, Falcon did become Captain America in the comic books. True. Why does that mean he has to become him in the movies?
Right.
Why couldn't
And
you have
when
just
was that? And
recast
how
Captain
did that
America?
comic, like, what comic was that? And how did it perform? That's what I want to know.
Not
Because
well.
a lot of times,
Yeah.
exactly, a lot of times whenever they do these dumb, oh, well, it was in the comics though, so that's why it's comic accurate. Well, it flopped in the comics. So why are you putting it in the movies when people already didn't like that?
Yeah. I do think, as Hannah Claire, points out, there is some fetish of that where these people actually hate what you love and they enjoy destroying it.
Yep.
You can tell because every time, this is more prevalent in the comic book industry, which is completely dead now.
Yeah.
The comic book industry only exists to maintain the IP.
Right.
But you see it also in video games where these people are literally, double clicking their mouses to the idea that they made your favorite male character gay. They get off on it. And they race swapped them. They seriously get off on it, and they do it all the time. Like, take that, Nazis! Like,
same with like Lara Croft that we see all the time.
Yeah,
Look
when
at
they
this
uglify her.
Netflix. Yeah,
Yep.
the Netflix adaptation. The lead writer in charge of all of that. She didn't actually like classic Lara Croft. She didn't like the concept of tomb raiding. She's like, oh, so I had to kind of navigate being a writer for this project, but being against tomb raiding because that's colonizing or whatever. Like, and so it's like, okay, so you don't even like the source material, so you want to change it to, oh, now she's gifted artifacts, she doesn't steal them, and now she's bulky and looks
that's like saying Superman doesn't have laser eyes. He has like,
I know,
he has like he can control metal or something like that.
right? And so,
Like,
and then
it's
they want
not what she does.
And there is a huge double standard too with that because it's like, oh, okay, with Lara Croft, they didn't want her to be pretty anymore. And they pretend like it's, oh, she was overly sexualized, which she wasn't in the classic games at all. Like maybe in some of the marketing materials, but not in the actual games themselves. But then they want to pretend like that's what they do. It's a Trojan horse. Oh, well, we just want to respect the character. But then you see in the actual Netflix adaptation, they make her look more like a dude and they sexualize her in a bath scene where just you look at her from the back that looks like a man's back. And so it's like, no, these woke people, they are not, they do the whole sexualizing thing even more usually, but
they're
they
the
make
shippers,
it gay.
they're the weirdos.
Yeah, they just make it gay, and it's like, oh, it's okay to do this as long as it's gay, and it's like there's no consistency there.
Has there ever been a successful progressive video game, superhero movie, whatever, that's completely original? Because so much what we talk about is where they're like, this is a character, and now we have like race swapped or gender swapped it.
Well, like those characters, the brother and sister, well, the non-binary characters, the safe space, forgot what the other one was named.
The new mutants or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even think that even made it.
Yeah, they never even made it.
Yeah,
it got mocked out of existence.
It did. I can't think
because that's one of the things that bothers me. It's like, if you don't like this IP, you don't like this context, you don't like this hero, like go make your own thing.
They can be minimally successful. Something like Squirrel Girl has its audience.
Right.
But like not like major
Invincible
success.
is kind of woke. I would say Invincible is relatively woke. First season, I actually thought the first season was good, and then I tried to watch after that, and then they made that girl with the pink suit, I forgot her name. They made her like shave her head and look like a non-binary or something. So I was like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this because But anyway, I mean that was pretty successful, but I don't think it was necessarily super woke, especially when you compare the comic version. Wasn't like they did some race swaps and stuff in the animated adaptation, but.
Yeah, I think that this movie will probably struggle to break even, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess.